Hey guys, this is Alex from 4C Trading and welcome back to one of our videos. And today we are gonna be covering Zilliqa on Bitcoin. I have had so many requests for these coins, and it's finally waking up. I was waiting for it forever to wake up, and now the time is right? I've done this coin in the past. You can see I had some levels on this chart. I can see that they reacted quite nicely. But I want to now identify some of the big areas and let's make some predictions of what the Zilliqa is going to do in the future, right? And also we got to mention there's really good reason why we on BTC contracts right now, due to the fact that Bitcoin now is going a little bit sideways, right? It's going a little bit sideways, and Ethereum as well. And we're still kind of stuck with that double top, right? We haven't made any progress towards an over 20K. So now it might be a really good chance for us, or opportunity to say, to actually go into some of these BTC coins and try to make a little bit extra BTCs on the, before we wait for the major break, if the break is gonna happen, right? And also one thing that I've noticed right off the bat before we even get started, volume is slowly increasing. That is also one good reason essentially that we could trade Zilliqa. And let us just identify some of the major areas and let's see what is going on it, right? So first of all, I'm gonna delete all of these lines because they are now old school. It doesn't matter anymore. They got played in the past. Let's see what is gonna happen in the future. Right off the bat, I'm gonna tag this area. And this area, as you can see, it's really important because this thing, as it doesn't look much, but this is actually the thing that created this low and started all this, throw Zilliqa all of this into accumulation period, which it lasted for quite a while, right? And I am using my tool of date range. Let's see date range. It actually lasted for almost a year. That's why the coin was a little bit forgotten due to time. I actually remember now. And then, the volume starts spiking up and bam, incredibly it jumped up, right? And I even remember that we had some trades on it during the time, but then it was just slowly sweeping down, not doing much. But now it's actually the time. The volume is prepping up again. We could be seeing some good action on Zilliqa. And not only that, we managed to hold this area, right? So that's good sign to begin with. So what is now next to conquer, right? Well, if we are to hold this area, we can now delete this box and focus a little bit more clearly by zooming in a little bit further on the current structure. And now in the current structure, we can see a little bit closer to right now, we are hanging above this one as well. So in the current structure, we're not only that we are hanging up above the area, we are actually gaining a bullish area right here as well, right? So now this gives us now a perfect opportunity to smash a trade at it. So now the only issue I have right now that we haven't had a nice break and then retest, right? We are sort of still hanging in the area and we are doing the retest. But my fear here is if I don't take the trade right now on this kind of this position, the trade is gonna go on without me. And the only thing this trade could fail, it's possibly because because if Bitcoin starts breaking out from 20K too much, well then probably we're gonna get stopped on it, right? But then it's again one of those trades when you can absolutely take the gamble at it, because reward, as you will see in quite a few moments, it's gonna be absolutely good, right? I mean, it's gonna be a pretty good reward to what we've seen. So from stop loss, what we're seeing right now, it's gonna be about 13%, 12 to 13%. You can see it's about here. So I wouldn't want to go any lower than that, right? Especially because like what I just mentioned, we don't have a defined area. I would actually go even here and put it a little bit lower. I would gamble it a little bit more this time around, just to protect ourselves, because we did not move from that area too wide. So I do think it's gonna pull back and still fail us anyways, right? And put it right under here, under this green candle. So yes, again, it's gonna be 13. And now this stop loss would feel a lot safer. Now the interesting part is, if we manage to hold this area, we actually have a really good chances of testing this area in the future, right? And now if you strap it on and you actually look at it, I mean, the first profit take, if we go straight for that area, it's actually 50% or 3.6R, and you can see that already on the first profit target, you making real good money, right? And that's only on the beginning of the box. We also have to mention that. But now if you look at it also from here, which if you want to play it a little bit more safer, then your first profit take should definitely be here, right? This is the safe profit take. I will display this one as well. So if you want to be playing that one, it's still pretty good, right? It's still pretty good. You're still getting 22% or 1.6R. You're still pretty good, right? But if you're playing from this one, if you're playing for the reals and you're hoping for that bull market to come through for you, you're definitely aiming at 50%. No, when it comes really interesting is because right after this profit take, we have a perfect conjunction with this structure. In this structure, as you can see, this structure lasted for a little bit more than a while, and it was about 45 days. So you can see that it has already reacted here from the future, and this is no coincidence that this two reacted like this, right? So now what you can do about it, you're most likely going to go, if you break this area, you will test the high of this area because you also created the high on the previous area here as well. So you will have one structure that created the high, the second structure that came to test that high and failed it, and after that fail went down for a retrace, and now you will have the third try who's gonna try again, and the third try must absolutely break this previous high, right? Must absolutely break this previous high, or you would just go back to the origin of the trade. That's the biggest issue when you have here. But it's not so much issue for us if we get a good fill on a trade and we actually ride it all the way to up there. And that in that case, that will probably be my last profit take as well, because number one, if it breaks out, I would go for a refill. You know, you already know how I trade, right? So I would go for a refill for sure. But if it stops here, and I mean selling everything in this position, right? You could see it's almost 100%, right? Almost 100%, 6.8. We're basically doubling the countdown on this trade if this one plays out as what I'm expecting. And again, we're only aiming at the bottom of the box. So number one, if this breaks out, right, and this breaks out, we will most likely retest an area like this. When you create such a two structures, and this is going to be a third one, you're most likely gonna react to this area. You're most likely gonna test and react from this area from the other side as well, right? So there's no fear. That's why I mostly would sell my entire position at this point. But if you don't want to, right, there are you can hold it definitely for some higher test, which right now I'm gonna point out, this is the most important area in the entire chart. This is really the most important area. So that would kind of be your last area, or in this case, last profit take, which you can see it's absolutely 140%. But for now, I wouldn't be aiming that high. Of course, you should be aiming that high, because if it's ever gonna happen, it's gonna happen in the bull. But I wouldn't be aiming so high right now, because you know I first want to see a break from this, refill on the trade, and then that's the profit take I'm gonna aim next, and it's gonna be another beautiful trade. So yeah, I'm excited that Zilliqa actually started doing something. You know, I've been trading this coin for a while, and definitely I'm not opposed to trading old coins. You know, I prefer trading old coins who have already established community, and the community knows what's going on, and you know, you have a lot of holders and people who will support it and share it on 4chan, so it just makes your trade a lot better, right? And of course, guys, please show us some love, right? Like the video, subscribe to our channel, punch that notification button. I mean, we do these videos every day except on Sunday, and Sundays sometimes even on Sunday, right? Also join us at Free 4C community, where we repost these videos, and we do, you know, analysis and Ethereum, Bitcoin analysis, and all of that merry shit that you guys need if you want to teach yourself essentially how to trade, right? So yes, thank you for watching, guys, and we will be seeing each other in the next one.